Hi everybody, Cynthia here. I'm back with the 13 Haunted Projects of Halloween. And as you can see here, hanging on my wall, today we're going to be making a paper bag wall decor piece. So this one here, I call it my ghostly garden. I have two ghosts that I cut out from my Cricut. I handmade these flowers. This moon and bat was from a sticker collection I had in my stash. This bat here was from the Dollar Tree. The bag filler was from the Dollar Tree. These orange like sticks were from the Dollar Tree. And as you can see, I'll take it off the wall. It is a paper bag. So we're going to be making not this one. I've already done, but this one here, I was calling it my mummy garden because I have two mummies. And then I have the three flowers here, creepy little hand, a mummy cat, and it says have a fantastic Halloween. This is the one we're actually going to be making today. So I'm going to cover my camera and move it and get it in position so nobody gets dizzy. I'm just going to put my hand over it. Sorry for the movement. Okay. Hoping I can get this all in focus here. I was going to stop the camera, but I thought, just keep on rolling. So for those two paper bags, I used, for the ghostly garden, I used this paper pack from Craft Smart. It's called Mischief Manor, and I got this, I want to say last year at Michael's. And then for the mummy garden, which we're going to make today, I used the Halloween garden paper collection from DCWV. I absolutely love this paper. I wish I would have gotten more. They had two paper pads left, and I thought, well, I'm not sure if I'm really going to like it. So I only got one, and silly me, they were out when I went back. But I was just, in case you haven't seen it, I'll quick page through. It's double-sided paper. So you have the roses with the fangs, and then it's green on this side. I'm just, oop, sorry. Just kind of page through so you can kind of see both sides. Eyeballs. It's just really cool paper, and some of it is glittered. And I think you get 2 sheets of each style. Okay, we're back to that. And then I used some cut-aparts from the collection. You get like 2 sheets of all of these cut-aparts, which are really cool too. So let me set these aside and we'll get started. I wanted to do a wall decor piece, and I wasn't sure what the heck I wanted to use. And I saw I had these paper bags in my stash. Now these are pretty, they're pretty stiff. They're not like a flimsy paper bag. And I had gotten these a while at Hobby Lobby. And they measure 6 3/4 by 3.5. So what you're gonna want to do is cut your bag down to 5 inches. So you want to cut this much off. And then once I cut it down to 5 inches, I went around all the edges and I inked it up with black soot distress ink. And I'm just going to open it up. Okay. And we're going to cover it with paper first. And I already have my pieces cut out and ready to go. And I've already inked up all my pieces as well with the black soot. So for your bottom of your bag piece, you're going to want a piece that measures 3 3/8 by 2 inches. I love crafting with paper bags, and I had these and I thought, well, maybe I can make a little mini album. And then I just decided, you know what, I'm going to try and do something for the wall. I thought it would be fun. Okay. I'm just going to fold it back down and really press it well. You can use your bone folder. So that's going to be the bottom of our bag. Now our two side pieces. I love this wood grain paper. It's wood grain on one side and pumpkins on the other. But for the two side panels, they measure 4 7/8 by 1 7/8. And you guys can, you know, stuff your bags and fill them with anything you want. I was just playing around making Halloween flowers, and then I thought, why not add them into the decor piece. Just running my bone folder along the inside, making sure that piece is nice and adhered down. I'm going to do the same on the other side. 4 7/8 by 1 7/8. Black paper bags would probably be good for Halloween as well, but I had brown in my stash, or craft color, so I figured why not. But I think these would be cute for any holiday. You could do Christmas and Thanksgiving, maybe some birthdays. Okay, so your front panel and your back panel, those mats measure 4 7/8 by 3 3/8. Run my bone folder inside. Put the last panel on, and then we're going to get our hole punch out. And I'm going to be using wire for my handle, but basically it's not going to hang by the handle. It's just another kind of piece to add to the decor, but it's not going to be your hanger. Your hanger is actually going to be this little pipe cleaner that we're going to attach to the back. Okay, so we have it all covered. My pipe cleaner measures, I cut it up, a large pipe cleaner, and this measures about 3 3/4 inches. So I'm just going to bend it in half. Add some hot glue to the edges. Try and decide which one I want to be my front. And then I'm going to glue it on the inside of the back of the bag. And you can hang it like this, but what I did was I pinched it once it dried. I pinched it and then I twisted it just to make the piece more secure, and then that'll be your little hanger piece there. Okay, so let's get out our hole punch, and on both sides I'm just going to go down a little bit and center it and punch a hole. And I'm going to do that to the opposite side. Okay. And then I have this bead landing 20 gauge black wire that I'm going to use for my hanger. And let me unfold this piece here. So basically I bent about an inch. I'm going to tuck that out of that side. Actually, go about an inch and a half. I think I have enough wire to do that. About an inch and a half long. And all I did was I took my round nose pliers and I curled up that little piece there so that won't poke anybody. And then I took a rounded, you could use a pencil, whatever you'd like, and I just wrapped it around to coil the wire. And this is just, like I said, just decorative. Okay. Now I wrapped it around too tight and can't get it out. Oh yeah. What us crafters go through when we do stuff. There we go. Okay, so that piece is coiled. I'm going to pull it through. And it's just going to hang here, kind of cute and decorative. I'm going to take it, pop it through the other side, and see how high I want my handle to go. And I'll give you a measurement. My handle is only about 3.5 inches from the bag. So from the edge of the bag on up, it's about 3.5 inches. So I'm going to bend this out. And I want to cut a piece off. So I won't need this piece. I'll use that for something else. And we're going to coil this side up as well. And I'll finish rounding it out. My tool here. I'm all thumbs today, guys. Sorry. There we go. Okay, so now we have our little handle. I'm going to take some Dollar Tree decorative shred. I was so ecstatic that my Dollar Tree finally had the color black. Normally they don't ever get this color or orange, and they had black and orange last time I went, so I was super excited. It's the small things in life that make me happy. Okay, so what I did was I filled my bag with the shred, and you want to push it down nice and firm. You don't want to squish it too much, but you want to make sure it's nice and filled. And you'll probably be filling it a little bit more later, but for right now I just kind of filled it to the top, and then we'll fill it in here and there as we need it later. Okay, so on the front of, let me raise my camera. On the front of this, I used some paper from the collection. I used the roses with the eyeballs, and then I used this green piece as my background, and it has like little eyeball plants on the other side and glitter. Thought it was really, really cute. I have a piece of foam for dimension. And then I also have this netting that you can get at the Dollar Tree as well. My Dollar Tree has black and white. I got the black. So let me aim my camera back down. Sorry about that. And for these two pieces that I cut, I used my dies here that I purchased at Hobby Lobby. And all I'm going to do is to the back of this, I'm going to add my foam piece I already cut. So get a little bit of hot glue. I'm trying to carefully lay this down because yesterday I did burn myself, which I do often. Okay, so we have our foam piece on there, but before we add it to this green piece, I took some of that decorative Dollar Tree shred, and netting, and I laid it down on the green piece, and I kind of spread it out. Okay, we're going to add more hot glue to the foam. And I'm going to line it up. Right on top of that. Okay. And then all I did was I kind of went in and added a little extra hot glue and tucked in some of the pieces that were hanging out too far, because I wanted to make sure that they were nice and secure. Okay, trim this piece off here. So that's the front, and then I took one of the cut aparts that said Fangtastic Halloween, and then I have another cut apart here that it says Creepy, had this rose with the fangs, and I used my small scallop circle punch. Where's my, okay. I'm going to get in there a little bit closer so I can center those fangs right in the center there and punch it out. And then this Fangtastic Halloween sentiment, I just went ahead and cut it out. And right above it, I'm going to glue my fangs. Trying to keep it in the center there. Okay. And then I ink this up as well. And I'm going to get another piece of foam and put it behind here. Whoop. Once you have your design down of what you think you might want to do, it comes together pretty quick. Okay, I'm going to need another piece here. Nice little chunky piece. Let's see if that fits. Yes. Okay, flip it around, add more hot glue, and I'm going to try and center it on here. And push down. Okay, so we already have this piece done. Let me get all these scraps out of our way. And we'll move on to the flowers. Okay, so this is going to be the front of my bag. I'm just going to add some more hot glue. And carefully place this on my bag. Okay, so that's the front. We're going to get started on the flowers. For the flowers, I use these bamboo skewers, and I covered them with some of this green floral tape, and it's super simple to do. Just started down here at the point and just twisted the skewer as I held the tape in place, and you'll see just how fast these go. And you just want to cover the whole thing, because until you get these in your bag and you cover them with everything, you just want to press it down. This is nice and sticky. But until you know where you want to place everything in your bag, I suggest you cover the whole stick, because these sticks will not go to waste. If you do other decor pieces, you can use the smaller bits for something else. And I do believe they have black floral tape, but I only had green in my stash, so that's what I used. Got one more piece here. Wrap it around. But as you can see, it takes no time at all to wrap and cover these. And I covered 5. Okay, so once those are covered, what I ended up doing was putting one here in the left-hand corner, and then one in the right, one in the middle, and you may end up moving these again. Let me move my camera up. I'm sorry, you guys couldn't see that. One in the left-hand corner, one in the right, one in the middle, and then in the back, I put this one in the center of those two, towards the back of the bag, and this one in the center of these two. So you have 5 sticks. 2 in the front, 1 in the middle, and 2 in the back between those 2 sticks. And we're just going to set that aside and work on our flowers. So I've already made one with an eyeball that I punched out with my scallop circle. I'm going to show you the flower petals. I used this punch here, and I used my large 5-petal punch from EK Success. And then for the one that actually has a flower, this little flower in the center, I used my smaller EK Success 5-petal punch. Here it is. I use this one. Okay. So I wanted them, if you can look closely, they have little points on them. And I just wanted them to look kind of pointy and Halloween-y. I pretty much cut all these up, but I'm going to show you what I did. So with the 5-petal one, the large one, I just went in the center of the petal and I cut out a banner piece. So it looks like that. And you're going to do that. Cut little banner pieces, little wedges. You can call them triangles out of every petal. Okay, so it should look like that. You're going to do that to this petal, and you're also going to do that to these. Okay, so I already did this one, and I'm missing one. I thought I had one to do. I cut them all out. So you're going to do that to all your petals, the little guy, the large guy, and these as well. And then all you're going to do, this is a super simple flower. You're going to take a bone folder or something and hold your finger behind and your thumb in the center, and you're just going to curl it. You're going to curl the petal, then line your thumb up there at the edge and push it up. Curl, push up. Curl and push up. Curl, push up. Curl and push up. So it should look like that, and you're going to do that to all of your petals, including this small one. I've done a few already. But you're going to curl them, push it up, curl, kind of bend it up, curl, and bend it up. To make one flower, you'll need 2 large petals, one that looks like this, and then one of the smaller petals, or a scallop circle cut out, like the eyeball I did here. So for the eyeball one, you're going to take the large petal, glue it to the other large petal, and just stack the petals. Like that. I took some of this netting here, laid it on top of the flower, put some glue on the gray petal, lay that right on top, and then I'm going to pull out the excess netting that didn't get glued in, and I'm just going to trim it up so it's not hanging off. And I like the look of that, but I'd like a little bit more netting, so I'm going to lay some more netting in the center there. And oh, we're doing the eyeball. This is my eyeball piece. I took 2 pieces of foam tape. So I cut 1 square, laid it down in the center of the eyeball. I'm going to cut another square, peel the tape off, and lay that square right on top of that one because I wanted it a little higher. Get my tweezer out, add some hot glue, flip it around, and put the eyeball right in the center there. Okay, so that's one flower. And we're going to do the other one. Very similar. Add some hot glue to one of the large, stack the other one on top, get some of that netting, lay it on top, get your gray petal, hot glue, try and center it on top of that, and then press down. And then once you think it's dry, you can start pulling out the loose pieces of netting again. And then right on top of that, I'm going to add more. And then I have my tiny petal. Just going to add hot glue to the back and lay that right in the center. And then I took one of these Studio G self-adhesive gems, and I used the large black one. I'm going to put that right in the center. And again, I'm going to pull out the excess pieces. And that's how we created that one. So let me get all this netting out of the way. Also, for some of the green petals behind the flowers, I used my Bitty Blossoms die set. Sorry, I have hot glue strings here. And I used the die here for the leaves. And I used one of my leaf flourishes for some of the gray leaves you see stacked back there. And for some reason they're not on my desk. Let me search them out. Oh, here they are. I used one of these leaf dies to create these in gray. And I found the die that makes these on Amazon. Okay, so I have some of the green leaves, which I'm not going to add to the back of the flower until I actually glue them to our sticks here. So I'm going to raise this up so you guys can see what I'm doing. So the left stick over here, I want to add, I think I'm going to do 2 eyeballs on this one. So I'm going to add an eyeball flower. I put a little bit of hot glue on the stick. And I'm going to put this on really low. Glue that on. And then to the back of the stick, I'm actually going to glue my leaves. So I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue across there. And glue the leaf onto the stick itself. Just adds a little more dimension to that. Okay. Then I'm going to go across here to the stick all the way on the right in the front. And I'm going to add it to this, but I'm going to go a little bit higher up on this stick. Add hot glue. Add my flower. Okay, so you could see I went up a little bit higher on this stick than here. I'm going to do the same thing in the back. Add a little hot glue. And I'm going to add my leaf to the stick. Turn it around. It looks like that. Now I'm going to go in here to the center stick and I'm going to add this flower that we put the gem on. And I'm going to go a little bit higher yet. Okay, low to the left, then I went up a little and I'm going to go up a little again for the center one here. Not real high, just a little bit higher than the other leaf so we can kind of stack them. Same thing, I'm going to put hot glue on my leaf and I'm going to add it to the back of that stick. Okay, so it looks like that. That's how our garden is shaping up so far. I have these mummies. I've had these for quite a while in my stash. That's why I called it my mummy garden. And I decided to use them and give them a try in here. So what I did on the back stick on the right is I took this one and I just kind of put her on there so that her little hand here on the left was touching the flower. And I pressed that down onto the stick, but I haven't glued anything yet because I just want to see where everything is going to lay and where the sticks need to be. And then the large mummy I'm going to add to our last stick, which is in the back on the left hand side. And I think I'm going to want him a little lower than she is. And I'm going to press him because he has a adhesive backing to that stick, but I want his little skull rattle hanging out there. Okay, put him on the stick, put her on, and then this little guy, he's sitting in a pumpkin, but I wanted the hand to kind of sit behind him. So I'm actually gonna put a little glue on the back, and then I'm gonna put his hand right about there, okay? And then I'm gonna sit him in my bag where his little paws are going to stick out of the bag. Just like that, okay? I'm gonna put glue on his pumpkin, and I'm gonna set him in there just like that. So let me go ahead and add some glue to the front here, and I'm going to put him in and glue him right to the front of that bag so his little paws stick out. And then all you have to do is turn your bag around, and you're going to cut off the excess pieces of the sticks. Sorry guys, my husband came home talking on the phone if you heard him. And then just go ahead and trim off all the extra height that you have. Okay, so it looks like this so far. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull off some of these leaves. And I'm just going to start adding them to the back of my mummy. And then probably the back of the flowers. I'm going to add a little more branches. Just kind of glue that to the leaf there. Ouch. See, I told you, always burning myself. And then I'll just pull off some more and just keep adding where you think you need some extra leaves and branches. And then I went in and I put, once I got decorated all of that, I just went in and I kind of hung out. I let some hang of the bag filler where I thought I needed pieces here and there. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go through and add more leaves to it until I get my desired look. That's basically how I put together this mummy garden and this paper bag decor piece. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. And if you give it a try, definitely let me know. I'd love to see how it turned out. And thank you so much for watching. Take care and happy crafting.